Oh no, I broke it! Well, that's what I get for not paying attention. I have my scene transitions on shift button and then I type something in and here I am. Whoops. Alright, I think I'm all set up to go though. So this is Metroid Prime. Hello everyone and welcome. I have now tried to start Metroid Prime as the original stream of this channel, and it was in an emulator, which was alright. I was enjoying it. You can play with the graphics a bit, but the map screen is kind of screwy. For as all of the work that the devs have put into Dolphin, they've come a long-ass way. It's still an emulation. It's still that process. But I forgot to turn on the record stream thing. So now I'm recording... I get the hair off there. I am recording the stream locally, as I have been, to produce my highlights. I'm also recording the stream as a past broadcast, which I wasn't aware was even an option that you could not select, which is not selected by default. So I borrowed a friend's Wii U, and I'm playing through the actual game on OG hardware. And to be completely honest, I'm actually really fucking excited about it too. Because I only played the... I love the Metroid games, right? When I was a kid, I love science fiction. I'm still into science fiction hugely. But the Metroid games were, you know, they're kiddie games. They were made by Nintendo. They're made for children. They've got some serious themes in them, but the way that they're presented is very tame. So, I ended up in a situation where, as I started to grow out of them, so to say, Prime 1 came out right when I got my GameCube. It was amazing. Prime 2, still the same feel, a little bit more bogged down, a little bit more bulky, but maybe bulky is good. Prime 3 went off in a way different direction. A lot of people were kind of iffy about it. I enjoyed it, but I bought my Wii almost exclusively to play the game, and then immediately turned around and got rid of it because I didn't care about anything else that was on the console. I regret that now, because there are a handful of games that I'm aware of that I need to go back and play. But, yeah, I've only played Prime 3 once. So we're going to run through all 3 of them real goddamn fast. I could get my moderator in here. Big dumb don't know how to go to the fucking stream. Oh, that's so nice being able to actually aim the gun. That was a good addition. Out of nothing, if we're gonna say anything about Prime 3, it was they made the controls better, because we're working with like resi tank controls, sort of. To be fair, this is not a shooter. It never has been. And the genre itself, rather, isn't a shooter. I think that's the differentiation that needs to be made. Because looking at... They're puzzle games, they're exploration games. The shooting is just kind of like a means with which to solve those puzzles, to try to interact with them. And getting to the point where we're now going to be running off of the Unreal Engine with dual analog sticks for Metroid Prime 4. I am both incredibly excited, because that's the way I wanted to play all of these games to begin with, but also I'm very worried that I'm going to end up... Well, they're going to miss the boat. They're going to forget what it was that made these games as good as they were. I'm pretty sure you can... yeah, scan the door, not the scampering, running, yelling boys. Because there's a real strong chance that we could end up with a game that's really good, but it's going to just fall into that same pit. Oh, man. That, What if we had recently that have done things like that? I haven't played Other M. I'm probably going to get to that at some point. But... I don't want to say Other M, because it had other problems besides it being not a true pirate game, or not a true Metroid game. It was interesting in its own right, but I'm not going to pass judgment until I actually play it. This is a full start, isn't it? This is one of those times where I would have, if I was doing a Let's Play, I probably would have restarted, went and took a walk to clear my mind. I'm just, gaming history for me. Big childhood. So the Spice Pirates is dead. They're doing many kill. And then there's this large creature that you just walk into the room and, okay, it's got, I mean, obviously this is a foreshadowing to what's going to happen. But, oh boy. Oh man, oh boy. History in the making here. Let me just stumble all over every single word that I could possibly throw out. You know when you have so many talking points you don't know where to pick? I think we'll just move on. We'll just commentate as if it was an organic experience. I don't want to kill you. I need to give you a chance to defend yourself. Very weak. Large bite. Don't touch me. He never even got a shot off. It was enough for him to raise his arm that we decided that he had put up a good fight. This is an interesting game design. You show up, you get the breadth of the game, you get introduced to the controls in the very first area, and now we're introduced to a hell of a lot more. I didn't even realize it continues to break. It continues to throw down fake debris. That's pretty great. You're introduced to the fact that the Metroid Prime is a hell of a lot more involved than most of the previous Metroid games were. Although I think it was released in the same year as Fusion. So, there's that. This pirate was killed by many big happening on his head. Although he still has a head, which is odd. I was legitimately expecting it to be blasted away. Well, that's nice not having the big skip that happens. I'll take the lower frame rate if it means that I don't have to deal with the constant frame buffering, even with Uber shaders in Dolphin. Talon 4, Ground Zero area secure. Crater radiation readings normal. So was this the only ship that they had in orbit? Frigate exterior hull stable and fully functional. Oh yes, the exterior hull is fine, but it's a horror on the inside. It's kind of true of most living beings. Parasitic infestation has been detected in the ventilation systems of decks Gamma and Beta. You know, when your science division's entire attempt, yeah, gotta go download my map. When your science division's entire thought process is, oh, massive radiation causing phazon, let's just expose literally everything to it and see what happens. Maybe there might be a bit of a reaction that causes bad things to happen. I'm just saying. So we can already see that there's just a single big loop that we get to go through on the tutorial level. That's cool. Yeah, most of the time when you get to this point, just having gone back through it with my nostalgia glasses, I never would have noticed that, yeah, I mean, you do get the entirety of the map data thrown at you. Did I finish scanning these? Oh. Yeah, I didn't scan this one. Oh, that's not important. There's no way I'm getting 100% scan on this game. You know, you can actually miss stuff in the big ship here. In the frigate. 2 parasite queen specimens have become volatile on the deck Beta. All security personnel should report to the biotech research area. Yeah, a lot of good that did them. Wait a second, hold on. Here's a hole that we have to turn into a morph ball to get through. How did the pirates get in and out of this room? Are they expected to crawl? Why don't they just make it into a regular hallway? Is this thing is this section of the ship jutting off so far that the internal pressure, in order to maintain it, they had to lower the effective square footage, and therefore they actually force you to walk through what it looks like a ventilation shaft? Or are the pirates born and raised in that room and they don't... I mean, there's nobody in there, so they clearly can just crawl out, but it just seems like a absolutely terrible design choice. It's funny, I was watching a couple other people play this game. often. All they needed to do to get out of a particular situation, or to not be stuck, was to turn on their scan visor and activate something. This is 3 times now that we've had to use the scan visor to progress. Like, it's a requirement of the game in order to do anything. Except after they get off of the ship, they forget that it's a necessity. Wow, I am actually tumbling on my words here. It's pretty amazing. To think that something as innocuous as going back and playing a childhood favorite would be this problematic. To be fair, I'm not used to the Wii control scheme, so having to waggle my hands, I guess, is invading in on the part of my brain that usually takes over when I need it to play me in my games. And there's not a lot to talk about yet, either. Because it's like, you ever get to that position where there's so many things to talk about, but it's because of the fact that you have the literary irony going on, right? You already know what's going to happen. So, do you want to try to lead thoughts? Do you want to try to speculate before you even get there and just assume that whom you're talking to already knows what's going to happen? Like, there's just so much there. I'ma scan you. Wow, this is so much more fluid using this control scheme. Creature has been downloaded to your logbook. Auto defense turret. There's just so much care that went into this game. Like, they didn't need to throw up a bunch. Like, how much concept art is there that just sits on the sides like that, right? Oh, is this actually the... Do you have to kill this one? I thought there were others that you could scan. Yeah, I don't see any panels over there. Alright. Let's missiles down again. Good night. Give. Put inside my gun. Dude, I cannot wait until I can play this game dual analog control. Alright, so this is the first one. That if you're paying attention, you can see the big scan me interactable. It disables the turret. You can still blow it up though. Actually, does it count? No, it doesn't count as a separate object if it is non-hostile. It's just very green. Oh boy. Parasite larva info, harmless unless encountered in large numbers. Wait, excuse me? Isn't that the parasite that's been running around on the ship? Is this the result of the phazon exposure? Because I thought that's what the parasite queen had. Because that's about, like, 10 times as big as the other ones we've been coming into contact with. That would be terrifying to see. Yeah, most of them would be, but... This is also about... Yeah. Oh, you know what they did? I don't know if this was intentional. So this is the little bug that flies around producing light. Again, this is like 2 times, maybe 3 times as big as it is on the planet. I wonder if this was just a... Alright, we're having them floating around in big water tanks. But... how is the player character going to know that? And also, there's no reason for us, because they're entirely harmless right now, to make them bigger so that the player character can interact with them better. They can observe them before we actually have to run into them later on. Oh, same one. Nothing in that container. I don't think you ever actually run into one of these. Yeah, it's a xenotropic life form. These are the big jumpy ones that usually in the other Metroid games you have to go underneath and shoot. Usually with a charge beam or a missile. That's kind of cool that they included it. Maybe it was just like a nod to, yes, this is from the Metroid universe. Remember this big bad boy? Biohazard waste removal in 3 hours. Phazon radiation readings must be reported to deck commander before batch disposal. Experiment. Bioform pain tolerance levels at 13%. And how do you measure pain tolerance levels? It is a fascinating concept. Because technically, given that everything that happens in your mind could be read, could be understood if we had the right tools for it, you could. But how would you quantify that? Because pain is like a response to stimulus in the body, to a degree. You know, like how some people, they get a paper cut, they pass out, and monks can set themselves on fire. Some space pirate status, severe internal damage detected. Nap time. It's like they're not even trying. I put the game on veteran mode. It's like they're not even trying. Hey, what's wrong with you? You look drunk. A brain hemorrhage detected. The creature's aim will be inhibited. Avoid damage by using quick movements. So this is like sort of the initial... I did put it on veteran, didn't I? I guess this is really extra tutorial land or something? More spiky people from Talon 4? This is cool. It's like the character select roster for before we actually land on the planet. Oh, I still have my tag as horror. Is Metroid horror? I don't think so. Hold on. What do we change that to? So I am a variety streamer, even though technically I'm not streaming more than one thing at a time. Horror, thoughtful, and variety. You know what? I'm gonna leave it. Whatever. Metroid's horror. Yeah, it's so spoopy. Listen to this music. How is this not horror? Imagine landing on a ship floating in space that you got from a distress beacon. And everybody is dead. The escape pods are jumped. Everybody's running around with brain hemorrhages. That doesn't actually let us know what's in there. It did on the one on the ground. I'll take care of you. Oh. Don't die. I need to scan you first. Don't shoot me. It's rude. Minimal injuries. You made it past the brain hemorrhage guy. What about this one? Oh man, you did it. You beat me. In one-on-one combat. Bet your mother would be proud. How about you? You taking a nap? I love it. I mean, I don't love the fact that they're suffering, but it's a good characterization. And also, if you already know what space pirates are going into this game, which you should from like the 4 or 5 Metroid games before this. No. Then you probably wouldn't feel bad that that they lost this one. Because they've generally been bad people. As far as Samus is concerned, anyway. Yeah, I do like this, though. The character select before we get down to the planet. Except the one on the bottom, which was more just an Easter egg. Sort of. So those ones don't count for anything. Oh, it's the Shriek Bats. I'm pretty sure all of their character models are just doubled in size so that we can look at them better. I don't think they're actually... I'm pretty sure they're half that size down on the planet. Of course, they can explain that away as they're being experimented on with Phazon, so... You know how mutations work. They just make you bigger, and they give you superpowers in the 10% of times that they don't kill you. Is that another Shriek Bat? No, that's something else. An Ice Shriek Bat. I remember there being different variants. And those flying supersonic ones. They go faster than the speed of sound, which somehow means that you can't see them. Magic cloaking abilities. Yep, we can't scan that. Security codes on auto defense turrets are changed every other lunar cycle. Yeah, wouldn't... Oh, that brings up an interesting question. I think that's it over here. Oh, no, there's 2 more. Obstruction detected in reactor ventilation system. Maybe we should stop letting the Phazon radiated individuals into the ventilation system. It's probably why you got problems, ma'am. Maybe becomes superheated if airflow is restricted. Oh, this is actually letting us know why the escape sequence will be what it is. Sorta, kinda. Although it's too obscure to really mean anything to you yet, so even coming back to it, it's probably not that important. No. Damn it, no, he didn't hit me. I just had a vibration shake of the controller. Oh, yeah, so we measure time based off of celestial bodies, right? We use the sun mostly. The fact that the whole rotation around the sun of the planet is separated in such a consistent way as we've used to try to measure time out. And then other celestial bodies, or not even celestial bodies, stars, even Mayans and whatnot have created calendars using that because of how consistently the laws of physics allow... Okay, I was gonna scan stuff, but you just gotta be rude about it, huh? Did you lock on? I wish there was an option so that you can also toggle the free aim while you're locked on. Take the skill completely out of the game. So when they say lunar cycle, would that mean the lunar cycle that they carried from their home planet that they originally grew up on or Space Pirates originated from? Or does that mean the lunar cycle of the current place that they're stationed at? Like, do they have a database of a variety of different locations, and when they land, like, do their times get all synced up to that? Like how we have time zones now? Would you have, like, galactic time pockets? Oh, the logistics of space travel are going to be really interesting. Especially considering time dilation. You can leave when you're traveling super fast in a spaceship, come back, and everybody's aged way more than you have. Alright, look at this secret shortcut. You can blow them up before they even are in the room. They can't even target you when you're outside of the room, because your model technically hasn't loaded in. There's no asset for you. Alright, let's see. Space Pirates status. So this is clearly the entrance to the boss room, because there's 4 dead pirates. All together, look like they got thrown out the door. Oh yeah, and if we're gonna talk about horror, move on to the next room. God, I love the art they throw out for these. Severe lacerations. Looks like it has been partially eaten. This is the AI on board our computer saying this. This isn't Samus's commentary. So our suit is like, he looks kind of eaten. Or that man has a brain hemorrhage. He's not gonna shoot you so well anymore. Lucky you, Samus. Like, I know it's supposed to be tactical combat information, but it seems so sassy. Save stations. I do like the idea that, you know what? Metroid was the first Dark Souls. It's got item descriptions, except you actually have to look at the items instead of having them in your inventory. Ha! I never put those two together before. Because, like, all of Dark Souls lore is basically through item descriptions and just the geometry of the world. And all of Metroid lore is basically the same thing. How is this not horror? Look at that coloring. Look at the fact that there's just a bunch of goddamn dead bodies strewn about on the sides with their Nintendo TM not red blood. Is there anything you can scan in here before we move on? No life signs. That's it. Our computer's like, I don't even care. Large amounts of blood missing from the carcass. These bodies must have been used for nourishment. Pattern consistent with predator behavior. Alright, this guy died way too quickly. Well, it'd be girl, wouldn't it? When I played the first time. A couple weeks ago when I started streaming. And I was afraid that I started the game on, like, an easy mode. You only have access to regular and veteran. Maybe I just got better over time from video games? Although I say that. Watch me actually die on this very first boss. Hey, would I even have to aim properly? Or scan them? Because the Parasite Queen has the weak spot in the mouth, right? And this is another tutorial on scan every boss before you fight them. This is a mechanic we want. Except because I have free aim with the waggle stick controller, maybe I could just shoot them out without having to lock on. New creature entry. Morphology, Parasite Queen. Parasite female. Genetically enhanced by unknown means. So I wonder if Phazon doesn't leave a trace after it's been out of the system of something it's been exposed to long enough. A weak spot has been detected in this creature's mouth. Use your auto-targeting to acquire this new target. With my waggle stick. Good. Signs indicate the presence of a potent mutagen. Nope. So it does have Phazon. We just don't know what it's called yet. Origin unknown. Creature exhibits the ability to fire weapons-grade blasts of energy from its mouth. A trait not present in the standard parasite genome. It appears the parasites have begun a bioengineering program with considerable results. So considerable, in fact, the ship is done. This ship is empty. Full of dead pirates. No chutes. Leave me alone. I'm using the cheat. I only get to use half. Stop with the lasers. Missile. Magic missile. Why are you so rude, Parasite Queen? Aw, man, I actually took 3 pieces of damage. How could this have happened? Oh yeah, it's got the little medallion things that you get for playing through the trilogy. I forgot about that. Honestly, a little intrusive, to be honest. I've never liked achievements in games. Like, you finish the game in some incredibly, like, thoughtful, emotion-driven story, and you get an achievement that pops up as like, last one standing. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate your input, but also, could you not? Is that an option today? You know, they did a pretty good job with the sound effect of Runaway. It's annoying, but it's not intrusive enough to ruin the experience like it is sometimes. Oh, you know what? Isn't most escape sequences at the end of the Metroid games? I'm thinking about that. I don't think there were any inside. Fusion had it like towards the end, where you had the smaller escape sequence to get away from the Metroids. No! Get out of here! Did I say you could shoot me in the face twice? Oh, god damn it. That took a lot, actually. No. Having to manual aim is terrible. See? Too much air pressure and the seals break off, just like we scanned earlier. What a wonderful world we live in. But no, I don't... Most of the other Metroid games, they have the escape sequence, but they didn't have... Oh, I didn't scan you puppies. That's not what I wanted to scan. There we go. Oh, no, I did. Yeah, see, they're half the size of what they were inside of the original tank when we were going through the room with all of the scannable monsters. Stop. Get out of here. I'm busy. I'm sure you guys will survive after this place explodes. Oh, we don't have any missiles. Gotta be careful of any turrets we come across. These guys apparently only drop energy tanks. I'm not even taking damage from them. Try to reel it back in. The point I was making was it was really cool. It's a subversion of the trope that we would run into the alarm, escape the section at the end of the game. Oh, this is the top of the elevator. Oh, I never put those two together before. Wow. I gotta say, I've probably played through Prime 1 at least 20 times, and I always thought that that was just some nondescript hallway. Because you get there and you're like, how do I open the door? Shooting it doesn't work. I think that took a lot less time than it normally does. No. Where are you even looking? What do you even do? Give me your missiles. What a bunch. They should just not get paid. I should get their job. I'm a much better sentry turret. I'll actually look at the things I'm supposed to shoot. Alright. Yeah. And we just get all of our health back. Willy-nilly. I like how the door design is it's memorable enough that when you come back here as the sunken ship, that's the thing that kind of clues you into where you are. That actually knocked me back. Was there anything back this way? Nope. Move. I'm busy. I'm too busy for your shenanigans. Did I finish my point? I don't think I did. Yes, it's a good subversion of the trope that we were running into the escape from section at the beginning of the game instead of the end. It's kind of like, you know, this ain't your mama's Metroid game. This is Metroid Prime. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. I have a surprisingly small number of bots in my channel today. That's cool. Alright. I love how there's absolutely no indication of what this is supposed to mean. You just lock onto it to, like, maybe you're gonna fire, and then suddenly you grapple jump. Although you can scan them, so there's that. While in combat mode, press and hold lock on to grapple beam swing. I am not missing these. Oh man, I thought this was a research object. Damn. Weapon update complete. Stinger ballistics online. Plasma fuel cells online. Okay, I thought I killed him. No, he's just has a robot body now. Cerebral casing stable. So literally they just took his brain out and put it in a better body. Exoskeleton seal holding. Begin umbilical retraction. So he was literally just finished. Turret off. Turret go big down. Oh, where's it? Is the turret up in there? Like, can we see it? Yeah, okay, cool. Heh. Can't even do anything about it. I don't want to die from the shock. I want to keep my regular Variasuit, thank you. Let me scan you first. You gotta scan the other one before you can take the elevator. Huh. Serves me right, I suppose. That's what you get, Samus, for scanning everything. Here I go on about how important it is that you need to scan everything so you can get all of the lore and have access to everything that's available to you. Solve all your puzzles. And we do what you said, and then we just lose all of our cool stuff. The hell is... Oh, this is probably the entrance that the space pirates normally take. And we're taking the side. Look at this. This is two blocks tall. Tall enough for a space pirate to walk through. I still don't understand why that one room had that crazy, just a tiny tunnel that you had to crawl through. Thank you. Is that the only other time that you get a message on screen telling you something that happened in the environment? Oh, these are scannable, I believe. I missed them on the way up. Oh, nope. I guess they're not scannable right now. I'm never gonna make it, guys. I only got 2 minutes left. What are we gonna do? Oh no, I did it. And we return to traditional Metroid music. Oh shit, was this music in Metroid before Prime? Yeah, it was. This is Ridley's theme. There's just space pirate corpses floating around. Wow, silver medal, you beat the tutorial. 1, 2, there, 5, 6, okay. I don't remember those in the original. So Meta Ridley can breathe in space, or at least he's protected from it enough that he can hold his breath. This is contrived. How? How did we lose tracking of the target? Did he go underground? If so, wouldn't we fly to the part where he went underground? So the entire pretense for this game is Samus heard a distress beacon. I don't think it was a distress beacon that the Galactic Federation handed off to you. It's just one that you found while you were out doing your bounty hunting. And it happened to be a space pirate vessel floating over a planet, which is falling apart because, of course, the pirates are terrible scientists. Actually, they're like surprisingly good, but also surprisingly inept. Like, some of them try to keep Metroids as pets. The smartest. But that being said, just for no reason at all, this happens to be the one where they're rebuilding fucking Meta Ridley. And they managed, before they run off to their own escape pods, to release him. And Samus, with her own personal vendetta against Ridley, which, can you blame her? I think he ripped... Yeah, we can't morph ball yet. Gotta remember to come back for that. I think he bit off her father's head in front... No. Her father killed himself in an attempt to destroy the ship that Ridley and the space pirates were on. I love how you jump next to the ship before you get the space jump boots that throws you into the sky. You gonna come out? I need to scan you first before we can tango. A beetle. That's it. It's just a beetle. Talon 4 beetle. Very large. Many angers. We're playing on Veteran. What difference does Veteran... Is Veteran actually easy mode? And normal is hard? What is this backwards world we live in? Do we need space jump boots to go up there? I think we do. I'm gonna go up there anyway right now. Let's see if we can. Because it's cool. It's a great way to start the game. Go the wrong way. Yeah, there's a section behind the waterfall we can go through. Wonderful. And we'll get the first relic and a taste of the other part of this game. So this gives you context if you're willing to go out of your way for it. But that's the point, though, right? Samus is only here because of her personal vendetta. And her personal vendetta led her into a situation where maybe she could have a greater purpose, right? I think I can scan... Yep, I can scan flowers. These are called hentai. Plant life with basic sentience. Retracts into the ground if threatened. Get out of here. That'd be a crazy plant to run into in real life. You can see the impact crater at the very beginning of the game. Damn, boy. Oh no, it's spinning around in circles because I took the controller off where it was supposed to be. I need to set up the multiple screens here. Oh, this is good music. This is why we play these games. Need scan you. You are some lore. Field team reports are in on an aged structure of alien design. Built on the surface of Talon 4, studies show that this structure projects a containment field. This field bars access to the prime source of energy within a deep crater. They're not even calling it Phazon yet. Science team believes that the field is powered by a number of strange Chozo artifacts. Oh boy. We don't want any more of these Dragon Ball Z Super Saiyan stupid owl artifacts anymore. We don't need a hex machine. As the field could hinder future energy production operations on Talon 4, we must dismantle it as soon as possible. If this means the destruction of the Chozo artifacts, it will be done. Ah, okay, so yeah, we can't even enter there until we get missiles. Cool. So you do get a little bit of lore. You get a bit of look at the cool shit happening in this world, but not quite enough. Samus is still very much concerned with going and beating up the big angry bird. As she should be. As is tradition. Although that it is interesting to say, though. Though. Interesting, though. We speak Barbarian. You only get 2 syllables. I will scan you. Sapsack. Chemical reaction with the sac produces violent explosions when agitated. Because of its irresistible odor and sweet nectar, the sapsack was nearly eaten out of existence. The evolution of an explosive chemical sac saved it. Now only brave or ingenious creatures dare devour it. I don't know how effective that would be, depending on the creatures. Like, because if they're just dumbass animals... Actually, I was going to say ants, but ants are actually pretty smart with regards to survival of the group. If a couple ants eat it and they explode due to the chemical reaction that happens. Oh, damn, I didn't scan them. Yeah, they respawn, though. Get out of here. Oh, almost forgot what the jump button was. I'm finding I have less of an issue remembering what buttons are supposed to be on official controllers. Although that's not always true. I'm just gonna scan you and we'll move on. Stop with the throwing shit at me, please. Oh, door cannot be opened with current equipment. Go find your missiles, Samus. Stop duping around. Alright, so I believe we've explored everywhere that we can explore at this point. We can't go through either... Yeah, we can't go through that door, because we need half pipe. Can't continue there because of missiles. There's another secret path, but we need morph ball for that. So we'll continue. And ignore these babies. Alright, what are you gonna do about it, huh? You can't jump. Well, you can jump, but only horizontally. Well, they're trying. Let nobody say that they didn't try. You know, okay, so I was going to say it's kind of strange that Samus would spend so much time on this planet just kind of wandering her ass around for no reason. But let's put it into context. We're only on this planet for maybe, what, like 2 days? Like, take in-game time as the actual amount of time that you spend here, and you're only here for... What are speedruns for this game? A couple of hours, if that? If you play it like you're supposed to and really kind of explore everything, I imagine it only takes her a couple of days. Given her biology and her ability to her biology and fitness and technology, she can probably go a few days and still be on the top of her game without sleep, without food. So that's not a huge thing. We can wave that away. The other big thing is, like, why is she bothering? Okay, she's chasing down Ridley. She probably has wanted to have a lead for that for a while, and then she comes into contact with all of the pirates, you know, wobbly wobblies, and the fact that the Chozo used to live here, what were effectively her adoptive race. So she would be interested as she continues to wander around. I wonder if anybody else can scan the Chozo dialect. I imagine they probably distributed the ability for their language to be read to other races in the universe. Chozo script translated. The history of the Chozo stretches back into ancient times, so far into the fog of the past that we know not where our ancestors came from, but one thing is clear. However, the Chozo who colonized Talon 4 made it a conscious choice to eschew a civilization of advanced technology. We Chozo chose to live in harmony with nature, guided by the providence of the universe. We believe that we will spend peaceful days here, and we plan to leave our worlds from time to time. So yeah, the Chozo effectively became space hippies. Which, I mean, that's fine by me. God, this is weird. I need water, my mouth is going dry. I've always kind of been a fan of that concept, though, because it can mix fantasy with science fiction. And you end up with this very effective means by which to tell a tale and explore questions at the same time. You can look at the human element, and then you can look at the non-human element kind of trying to exist in harmony. Well, we've scanned all of you already. And you're dead. No, they're all just going to run away. What a bunch of wimps. It's like they're not even trying. As I indiscriminately murder them, the creatures only trying to protect their home. Alright. There's that tank up there. I believe there's something inside this tree. Nope, this is just letting us know that something bad has happened. The plants are very unalive. Nope, it's this tree. I think I need a super missile to get into. We can do to cellular decomposition. We can do to cellular decomposition while I throw literal balls of goddamn plasma at it, and they just fly off. They aren't even absorbed. It doesn't damage it in the slightest. Oh yeah, okay, that's that other missile tank up there. It's so much easier to explore when you have full range of vertical vision in this game. This is ideally the way to play the game. Or dual analog controls. Metroid Prime 4 is going to be fucking cool! Unreal Engine 4? Dual analog controls on the Nintendo Switch? Scarabs. Don't touch them, they're scared. Eyeballs. An ion. Immobile organisms entirely composed of ocular tissue. That doesn't... What the hell counts as ocular tissue? So you got the eye, right? Which you got 3 different casings around the eye in terms of tissues that hold it in. You've got 2 different humors or liquid compositions. You've got a jelly that basically fills up the entire... A see-through jelly is the structure of most of the eye, and then kind of just a pure water-style jelly sits in between your pupil and your lens, like the frontal area before you get into the... You got the aqueous and the aqueous humor is the front end, and you fucking whatever the one is in the back. And then you got the retina, and the nerves come off of that. You can't have an organism that's just ocular tissue. It's no. It's no. Many long years have passed since we Chozo first took root in the land. The passage of time has always been a source of fascination to us. It is the belief of many Chozo sages that the truths of the universe hide within the tumbling currents of time's flow. So our space hippies decided that they wanted to try to start to become one with time. These Chozo literally became fourth-dimensional beings. We got some Eldritch Horror in here now, too. Good. Even as we search for the answers there, however, we find illumination in other unexpected places. We know not how the ability has come to us, but recently many Chozo have begun to sense things beyond the realm of ordinary perception. Strange sights and inexplicable sensations flood our minds, filling us with visions. We take this glowing ability to be a sign of our burgeoning harmonization with the infinite. Perhaps finally the universe's secrets are becoming known to us. If it wasn't the Chozo... Well, okay, no, the Chozo fucked up enough too, right? We make fun of the pirates for being fuck-ups with regards to their science. Unusually high concentrations of poison! But, like, the Chozo, they made the Metroids. They also... No, the X were native, weren't they? They didn't make the X. They made the Metroids in response to the X. As is canon per Samus Returns. But, I mean... The fact that they are starting to budge their way into things that no traditional creature ruled by the laws of physics should ever tamper with, as we have seen in many media. I mean, we won't know for certain until we actually get there, right? I need to take a selfie. Oh yeah, look at that glorious... What is that? It's 5 pixels wide? This is the reflective technology of the future. And it's only the top, too. Oh, you know what? We don't see the pauldron of the shoulder pads. I wonder if we come back here, it'll still be this nonsense, or if we actually get to see the pauldrons. We gotta make sure that we come back and check for that. And you're dead. Is there anything in here that I needed to scan? I thought the sides had something interesting. A sculpture crafted in honor of Talon's star. You know, for space hippies, that looks kind of... I mean, it's not really even abstract, is it? This is a bit much. This is the moon? Nope, nope. They're both in honor of Talon's star. I don't know. Would you become more or less inclined to be reverent of the universe as you became more knowledgeable of it? Because, like, if you know nothing, then you begin to ascribe the sun to being literally a god. If you know enough to know what it is and why it be, then you simply pass it off as what it is and why it be. A giant ball of gas. The reverence lies in the fact that it's a giant ball of motherfucking gas. And it will murder everything that comes near it. And it is simply the result of the laws of physics acting on the universe. Aw, man. See, don't they look smaller than they did when we were on the ship? Might be wrong, though. Oh, yeah, and they avoid your gun pretty well, too. Enough of that. I know you're trying to survive, but so am I. Oh, don't pick that up. Large energy replenishes 20 units of energy. Okay, just tapping the button, I actually have to hold it and flick up in order to switch over. That's good. Sort of. Kind of wish that you could, like, switch between the last visor you used and also the last beam that you used, pushing plus and minus on the controller. I think I would have done that, but maybe they found in playtesting that it was too confusing for people. It's always a possibility. It appears this item can only be reached by using the elevated bridge. It's impossible to get there otherwise. Samus only has one arm. She does not know how to climb things. Appears to be inactive. Life forms detected within the hollows of the machine. That's not good. I can still scan... Oh, I'd never scanned a missile door. Scan everything. Don't scan the missile door because you remember it. Analysis indicates that the blast shield is invulnerable to beam weapons. But the missiles aren't actually payloads, are they? That's always something that's weirded me out. Alright, fine, we'll do the thing now. I imagine this battle is probably also going to be easier because of the controller. Wow, it's only been 50 minutes. Let's do this. Angry war wasps? How is that a creature? Also, is it... Oh, okay, yeah. It's definitely made to look like it has a face, right? Look at that. Look at that nonsense. A hive mecha. Security unit programmed to work with predatory hive dwellers. Oh! Okay, that makes sense. So literally, it's just a habitat that was made in an attempt to provide a security service. A design flaw makes the shielding on the hive mecha weak around their access ports. These units are second-generation combat drones, able to interface with organic units at higher levels. They train, shelter, and work with hive dwellers. They trained them. Unarmed, they rely on their hive beasts to handle threats. That's cool. I need to scan... Oh, well, I guess we're scanning that now. Yes, toxins. You missed. A ram war wasp airborne predator cycles its prey and then strikes. War wasps are not the only... They're the only species to evolve true hive mind. Wait, Rip. That would imply that they are connected to one another, like, psychically. I suppose there are ghosts in this universe, so that's not too much of a stretch. Wasps emerge in small groups when threatened and circle their enemy at high speeds, disorienting it. Striking from all sides as a single intelligence, they can fell huge organisms. I'm sorry to tell you, war wasps, but Samus is too huge of an organism for you. Alright, I would appreciate... Okay, nope, you're done spinning in that direction. You? Want to take a nap? They still haven't touched me yet. Their aim is beautiful. Oh, they are taking a lot more damage than they used to. That's good. Oh, damn it! Okay, yeah, we are definitely on veteran then, because last time it took like 2 hits to break that, and this time it seems to be taking a heck of a lot more. Oh, it only spit out like 2. I almost jumped in the water. Everybody want to take a nap? Oh, uh-oh. Now we got 2 whole sets of these dudes. Just serpentine. Oh, we got hit. You know what really sucks is when you get knocked into the water. Did we take care of the top one? We did not. Can you come here? I believe in you. I know you are. I know you can aspire to great things, flying war man. You too? Oh, you know what? Actually, I think this would go a little bit faster if I didn't have the free aim, to be honest, because it takes a bit of time because I haven't mastered it yet to line up the shot. All right, this is the last one. Where did you go? Maybe I should spin in the other direction. I wonder if that would be faster. Oh, you stopped moving again? You missed. You suck. As I say. As I completely miss every other shot. There we go. Jesus. Shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. Moving on to the next one? Cool. Okay. I can't spam the button as quickly either because I have to aim while I'm spamming it. Oh, this actually feels really nice though. I like this. Alright, there we go. There's another one. So many bugs. You know what? If you had a legitimate hive mind, wouldn't you feel the pain of death every single time one of your comrades fell? Maybe I should focus on following against the strain instead of with it. Oh, there goes another one. I'm just shooting, hoping that I eventually catch one as it's flying around. Alright. There's only a couple left. I could have swore there were like 5 on each one. Maybe I'm just crazy. Well, wasn't that just a bit of fate? You cannot escape from crossing fates. Damn, I took a lot of damage there. We are playing on veteran then. Good. I was definitely playing on normal before. Which was a joke. I feel like this is the kind of game that fits better into the environment of having difficulty levels. Like RPGs I'm never a huge fan of because it's just... the numbers go way up. But numbers go way up on a game like this. I feel like newbies could jump in and play this game on easy, or on veteran. There's very little that you actually have to master in order to be good. Permanently increases my max concentration, not energy. I still don't know how to retcon those two together. In the manga that was produced in response to Metroid Fusion, we got a backstory that said, hey, you know those X? Well, Samus's backstory was tragic. Ridley jumped in, killed a bunch of people. It was bad. Now Samus has a vendetta. She was taken in as the sole survivor of a space pirate raid. So they are big bads. Like, an entire colony couldn't fend off the space pirates. And, like, the pirates suffered almost no losses except for the fact that Samus's dad jumped onto the space pirate ship and said no thank you, and blew himself up and the ship along with it. Which, I mean, it was cool and all, but that also resulted in a lot of dead. And then Ridley, in his frustration with the situation at hand, decided that, okay, Samus, it was your dad that did this. I'm gonna have my sadistic balls, I'm gonna fondle them a bit. I'm gonna eat your mother right in front of you. And then he did. And it was terrible. Oh, the map room. I thought this was a missile expansion for some reason. But then we get to the point where Samus gets adapted. Yeah, she's adopted and then adapted with Chozo DNA so as to be able to exist on the planet, right? On the Chozo planet, because as a human she just couldn't live there. She couldn't handle the atmosphere, I believe. It may have... No, I don't think it was the increased gravity. I think it was the atmosphere. She couldn't reasonably respirate on that planet. But we find out as the suit's being developed for her, because, hey, look at this. This human Chozo hybrid is actually, like, super athletic and shit. Here's this power suit that we only give to our, like, best fighters or whatever. We're going to train you to use it so you have a career option. Here's your career path. We adopted you. We feel bad. We're going to make you a power suit. The suit itself is absolutely, like... The Chozo are using the magical MacGuffin of energy transference. This idea that you can store matter as energy, and you can take that energy back out again and store it. Which, to be fair, is a cool concept, but it's actually the complete opposite. The reason why a physical object can't travel faster than the speed of light, sort of theorized, is that as you try to approach the speed of light, every time you put more energy into it to try to increase its momentum, try to increase its movement, it starts to acquire more mass. Literally, traveling faster gives you more mass by nature of how the rules of the fucking universe work. So you're literally converting energy into mass at that point. Which also, as everybody would be familiar with, motherfucking nuclear missiles, nuclear bombs, the reason they work is because they convert a tiny, tiny amount of mass into pure energy, which results in big energy. A lot of it. So the idea of turning energy into mass is kind of a non-starter there. What they could do is they could store like a dense energy or a dense form of mass, or maybe they have like a well, no, because the denser it is, one, it's going to be heavy. It's going to act gravity-wise on shit around it. Two, if you like collapse something, that's how you end up with black holes. When you have atoms that don't exist as like 90% empty space, 99% empty space. This is, you know, you've got the nucleus with neutrons and protons with a bunch of electrons floating around it. And if you try to collapse that, well, you end up with many problems. Many very big problem. So realistically, you would want to be in a situation where maybe you could call forth energy from elsewhere, because as we've shown, you can transmit energy in a variety of ways, but then you're left with situations of, all right, but how reliable is it and how quick is it going to be? Anyway, point being, her suit is supposed to be based off of concentration. Like, she doesn't actually have energy tanks floating around in her suit. Although those might be kind of indicative of like a reservoir of concentration that she can build up. Because why would literally every enemy that we kill drop energy? Like, how does that make sense? Especially a prepackaged ball of energy the way that it does, right? So I imagine a lot of times it just represents maybe kind of a life force that she's taking in, Or it's just gameplay contrivance. Which, if we're going gameplay contrivance, then the X and Metroid Fusion were the best gameplay contrivance, because you quite literally killed the enemy, they become their base form, at which you pulled them into your body. You had a conservation of mass and energy at that point. You didn't have to worry about whether or not it made sense that she had energy or missiles at any given time, because your suit was literally converting their biomass into those things. Which brings me back to the original topic. Missiles. Right? Missiles are cool. Missiles make things dead. Well, supposedly they exist as like a supplement to your mean beam weaponry, which I'm pretty sure is just balls of plasma, as a physical payload, as like an explosive armament, except you can also pick up those explosive armaments from enemies, not from like storage containers exclusively. Because you can do that, that means that your suit has the ability to convert something in the environment into explosives. I'll take maybe the enemy had to have a certain amount of trace materials. Aw, man. I'm just trying to shoot you in the bum. What if I jump over you? I totally can do this. I know I can. Don't stop me. Damn it. Damn it! Alright, fine. It's actually a lot harder to do with the free aim. I don't know where the hitboxes are. Maybe her explosives, instead of just being pure energy being channeled in the form of a ball, maybe it's quite literally like she needs she needs like a certain amount of various trace elements to make a little pinpoint explosive, with which she just wraps with energy the same way as she does with other things. That would make more sense, because like an entire traditional style metal cased missile with the massive amount of explosives in it doesn't make a lot of sense within the context of what we store in our suit. Because what we launch out looks like it's just a little kind of rock that is surrounded by energy. Here, just pay attention to the missile really quick. See? It's a very small little baby payload. Get out of here! I'm already doing the stream, Omnicore. You can't just show up when I get the morph ball. I've already done all the science without you. Oh no, I can't kick him out. He's a moderator. He can just unblock himself. Ugh. I was just trying to explain the incongruencies of having a physical payload off of an energy weapon and having to pick up missiles. It doesn't make any sense. Also, this game is really fun, and I made sure we're playing on veteran this time. So if I die, I can blame it on that instead of my own inadequacies. Or something. You didn't miss a single thing. No, you've actually been here the entire time, I just didn't notice. Cronus showed up for a little bit at the beginning of the stream. I unfortunately didn't say their name out loud, so they left. I think Cronus is one of the ones that subs followed early on when I played the first Prime. I just answered your question. Don't ask me more dumb questions. Who? Now we have missiles we can backtrack again. When? Approximately 30 years ago. In the Battle of the Bulge. Stop! Stop asking me questions! I'm streaming. I'm not entertaining anyone. I always find that interesting. Like, some streamers, okay, cool. You're doing the streaming thing, but you have such a large audience, you can't really react to any of them at all. It doesn't make any sense. Nothing you do works. How dare you? Hey, look at our 5-pixel wide reflection. Isn't it beautiful? Why is you here? Get out of here, bug. I didn't even remember that there were panels next to Meta Ridley that you could scan. I don't think they counted towards research, but they do let you know that Meta Ridley is Meta Ridley and not just something that looks like him in an attempt. Actually has his brain. Timing things is hard with stream chat, man. Also, I'm upscaling a crop. Okay, so my television's a 4K TV with the Wii U putting out a 1080p signal of a 420p signal, which is being overscanned, which I stretched back out again in OBS. And now we have our stream. Blurry and all. and it doesn't look terrible. Doesn't look as good as it did on the emulator, though. What the heck? Shut up. Brag about what? This is impossible. I was talking to another streamer last night, and he kept going on about how when people would make jokes, he'd freak out about it because he didn't know. Hey, I bought my TV on Craigslist like the rest of us. I bought it used. It was cheapo TV. Television continues to advance, so... televisions, not technology, just televisions. Whoops. Anyway, I was talking to him last night, and he'd throw out every once in a while something, and somebody'd say something in chat, and he'd get kind of embarrassed. He'd take it seriously, then realize it was a joke and apologize for it. And I'm like, calm it down there, cowboy. And he immediately responds with, what? What did I do? I thought it was cute. It was like he was a little baby lolly or something in a 30-year-old man's body. Yeah, everything that you put in chat, you would never be able to be in stream because everything you put in chat is a bad joke. Why can't I jump? I thought, do I have to get boost before it lets me start jumping again? We could jump in the beginning. I know I'm right. Alright, let's see. How does the order of operations go here again? We have missiles, so we backtracked. Oh, but backtracking doesn't actually put us where we want to go yet. That's right. Because we can't climb up that tower, so we want to transmit ourselves over here. That'll get us an energy tank, and then we can go back into this main area back here. Gotcha. I always forget that. No, let's go down to Magmore Caverns right now. I may have actually scanned everything that I needed to research log-wise on the Space Pirate Frigate. I'm not going to make any promises, but I think I did. I don't even know how to check. But I might 100% this. Just by the nature of having played the game before. It'll probably come out something like 90-something%, though. Because I'm not a completionist. And also, because I can only borrow the Wii U for a short amount of time... What? Maybe I'll do it in the third one. Maybe, because we do want to see that 6 Silex ending. But because I'm borrowing this Wii U for a short amount of time, I want to try to finish them all as fast as possible, so I'm probably just going to barrel through all of the Prime games in one go. We don't have bombs yet, so we can't do this. Wow, what? Wow, wow, what? Wild, Wild West? Let's do some more nerd. The future is a vegetable thing, ever-changing and always in doubt. Even if we Chozo could gain the ability to foresee the future, it would be a hollow gift, for we could never hope to control what has yet to occur. The fountain is an example of this. The day we, that's what happens. When you see the future, you become a vegetable. That's just how shit works. And there's nothing that we could do to stop such a tragedy. But we do know this. Unlike the uncertain flow of water, that's not true. Like, with a powerful enough computer, you could simulate fluid physics. We just don't have powerful computers for that yet. The Chozo are liars, big fakes. The power of our will is strong and enduring. The will of the Chozo will never run dry. Oh, good. We had both bad science and sex jokes all in one lore piece. I want to try to be reverent, but sometimes the world just doesn't let you. Did we don't understand you. You have no chance, gentlemen. Please make your time. Oh no, he juked me. Wait, is there anything I can scan? No. This is just a pretty cave. The hell is it? Is this like a mining room? Or is that organic? Is this just somebody put something together and thought it looked pretty? A bunch of fool's gold everywhere. I have to smack my lips a lot while talking because I don't take enough frequent breaks for drinks. Or you know what? After I get this going, I should probably leave this on here. Just in case somebody does follow me so that I can make fun of them. I was told not to point out lurkers. But at the same time, I've actually been yelled at twice now for someone following and me not giving them a shout out. It's like, I get it, dudes. I do appreciate it. but these are supposed to be somewhat VOD friendly. I'm making these more as Let's Plays and then as ways to hang out than they are as ways to give people the ability to feel special about themselves. And I feel like a jackass saying that because the precedent has already been set. I could probably talk for a real long while. Talk about... Oh. I missed that. I gotta, like, increase the font so that my peripheral vision catches changes in text quicker. Yeah, the precedent has been set by so many other streamers that, like, if I interact with it, they're supposed to have at least a pop-up or a read-off or something. Thank you, all of these names, for subscribing, but I don't have boobs, so it doesn't really matter. Wow, how did you come out of there at the last second? Amazing. Oh, wait, is this one broken by missiles? Nope. No, it's... I want to point this out again. Look at this BS. Oh, I can't even see it from here. Damn it. They're not even subscribing, they're just following. It's a big old bomb. Wait, is this the power bomb you need for this one? Yeah, all it says is the tree seems to be weakened due to cellular decomposition. And yet, balls of plasma and explosive missile fragments bounce right off. It's more resistant than solid stone, more resistant than most of the enemies in this game. Bounces straight off. It's fun. It's a good. What did I do last time? No. I don't even have Morph Pool. What are you talking about? Yeah. I would like to read off when people do stuff. I also kind of want to... Like, if I get big enough... While I'm small, I don't think it will matter, because it's part of the banter that'll happen while I'm streaming. But if I get big enough, like, more than 50 people in chat at once, I will, one, probably never interact with it in a meaningful way. I'll just pick out things to react to on occasion. And two, everything that happens, I'm probably going to read off at the end of the stream with regards to monetary shit. Look at them scatter. Bunch of numbnuts. But right now, if somebody were to subscribe, it would be such a monumental thing that, like, I'd probably have to just stop streaming for a while. Chozo script translated. The surges of negative energy brought by the meteor far exceed our expectations. Phazon be whack, yo. No, not yet. I need to hit 50 followers, and I need to have an average of 3 viewers in every stream for the past month for me to be able to get the subscribe button. So, I'm going to say that's at least a year out, or more. The surges of negative energy. So, yeah, Phazon be whack. We chose to have yet to find to rid our... We chose to have to find a way to rid ourselves of the great poison. All we can do now is seal it away and wait for the day when a power to purify the poison appears. However, it is already impossible to collect all of the pieces of the great poison, as it has already spread, seeping into the planet and hardening. So, Phazon has infected other shit, and funnily enough, Metroid Prime, or the big old Metroid, Dark Samus, is kind of like providing a bio-cleaning service right now by eating all of the Phazon in the crater, so that by the time Samus shows up, she can solve the problem with her gun. Talk about being able to see the future. I did it. I defeated the Screech Bats. I looked at them and I walked 2 steps backwards. Oh boy, it's the big room again. My shoulder's kind of get... Ugh. A Reaper Vine. A single eye upon the Reaper Vine keeps constant vigil. Eyeballs! They're not weapons! They're everything but. They're very fragile. What's with the eyeball lasers and the eyeballs on a vine? Now that would explain why he runs away and everything else is fine. Oh, wow. That eyeball is just switching between textures. I don't think... Yeah, the eye's not moving in and of itself. It's moving at approximately like 3 frames per second. That's beautiful. I didn't even know that was possible. I didn't know a company like Nintendo could get away with some shortcuts like that. Nope. Missiles are not your jump button. Good job, though. Congratulations. You've accomplished much in your time here on this planet. It's not worth scanning them yet, because we don't have morph ball bombs. And I don't think they stay scanned. I say as I scan it, because why the hell not? I would like to go get my charge beam back. That's still weird. So we brought up how missiles don't make any sense. With regards to... You want to donate negative $4? How does that... Would I pay you $4 to watch my stream? Would that mean that I have to pay Twitch money in order to watch the stream? Because that would kind of make sense, having to pay in order to have Twitch host you. So what you're saying is, as long as I never get partnered, I'm safe, and I don't have to pay negative tips. I'll take them in bits. It's okay. I'm a terrible streamer, and nobody wants to watch me, so I don't have to worry about a thing. It's fine. I say that, and yet self-depreciating humor is one of the most relatable forms of humor. I may be dooming myself to success by being a failure. How do you deal with this incongruency? I am kind of calling you a nobody. Well, okay, so within the context of marketing, right? Friends and family tend not to derive the same level of appropriate reactions to content, right? Now, a lot of times with YouTube personalities, it tends to result in you trying to get them to think they're your friends, which is incredibly dubious in my opinion. Like, yeah, we can hang out. We're internet acquaintances, but beyond that, we're not friends. You can't do that. You have to spend time with somebody. You have to consistently. Like, you stop spending time with them, they stop being your friend. I'll catch your hands real hard. Pretty sure I can throw more hands than you. So being an actual friend, jumping into a content like this, it's kind of an extension of just hanging out to begin with. So it means that there's no indication there as to whether or not what I'm doing is good or not, right? That's where the "you're a nobody" comes in, as it kind of represents a lack of proper representation of whether or not the stream or the YouTube videos or whatever it is have actually accomplished what they set out to do. That's not to say you can't enjoy them. I enjoy my own content on occasion in the form of making my highlights. Wow, amazing. How the hell do you have 5 hands to throw? Is one of them your penis? Wait, shit, have I even... Yeah, I scanned them in the other room. I did not scan the plate, though. It wasn't a jump. It was a juke. I was juking the game. It thought I was gonna succeed, and I refused to do so. And now the game is sad and disappointed, just like my parents. Shit, I did that self-depreciating thing again. Can I patent that? I'm not allowed to be relatable. It'll mean someone will enjoy the channel. Shit. I should just let myself die at this point. Just start over. I think that one was like an A++ jump. It was like a 5.0 on a 4.0 scale. That jump gave me college credit. I do like this setup. It's way more comfortable than it actually is. Prime, and then the concept of playing this game with the waggle sticks that I got here. It's the reason why I set up the way that I did. Shit, I did miss the other one. It's not the one in the center, because that's flipped around, so I can't see it. I can't use a mirror or anything to find it. I always miss it, too. It's at the very beginning in the little alcove over there. No, get out of my way. Right there. See, it's not even hiding. It's just like, why must you forget about me, son? Why must you wander off without giving me the time of day? After all I've done for you, I put this roof over your head. This is how you repay me? To be fair, the big A button kind of feels like a jump button sometimes. Just saying. Doesn't make... Oh, that's right! That is right! I have forgotten already. Alright, hold on. We need to go into the options menu. This B button looks like a trigger, and the A button looks like a big Mario jump button, and I just punched the microphone. That's going on highlights, part 2. The fucking... Alright, this is what we want to do. There it is. There it is. We need that. Now I can pull the trigger even faster than I was pulling before because it is an actual trigger, and the big jump button jumps now. Now I definitely cannot fall. It is an impossibility. Fate is conspiring with me to prevent the fall from happening. You see that? I made it. I'm the best. I didn't just try to jump. I didn't just try to fire by jumping. That's not what happened there. It didn't just happen again. As I get used to the game. Jozo script translated. Disaster struck suddenly. We had a vague, dark foreboding, and it became the truth. Ah, don't you hate it when that happens? A meteor appeared from nowhere, casting a dark shadow of debris over the land with the violence of its impact. Playing these games after having played Prime 3 is actually kind of cool, because this is a very micro like perspective on the effects of having Phazon in an environment, and then 2 kind of does the same thing. And then we find out, oh no, actually there's an entire living planet that's just spitting out its children into these planets. And this one's just been here long enough and the Chozo interacted with it enough that it wasn't the big boss arena that it ends up being in Prime 3. Its destructive force spent. The fallen star burned itself out rapidly, and the incident should have faded into memory. But the meteor brought with it corruption. A great poison. Phazon. Wonder if that's why they chose P for the beginning of the word instead of F. Probably just because it looks prettier. A strange energy that clawed at natural life with a ferocity. I mean, yeah, radiation will do that. Phazon is made out to be this ethereal entity that exists, like, beyond normal laws of physics in this universe, so maybe, I mean, the Chozos can become ghosts, so it's not all science, kids. A strange negative energy emitted from the meteor expanded to encompass Talon 4 in a night, as a spider weaves a web. Well, doesn't that suck? I need to put a thing under my arm. Shoulder. Ah, beautiful. We's professionals today. If every day is my witness, we's professionals every day. I'll never make it out of here alive. Oh yeah, you can just... Of course, only the big balls of death, not the little balls of death, can destroy the eyeballs. If I shoot him right in the goddamn eyeball, he's fine. Have you ever had anything land in your eyeball? It hurts. It hurts because they're fragile. It hurts because the body says, don't let anything touch them, they will break. Whoever designed these fucking things did a terrible job because they're probably the weakest spot on the entire body. Just get over it. Wasn't there something else in here that I could scan? No, it was just the missile expansion. I had some peanuts and an apple for breakfast. I'm believing myself to become somewhat hungry. Shit. I wonder if I can take a short break to eat instead of a long one. Because I want to just keep playing through the night. I didn't fire my gun and I didn't jump. So, not making it across that pit was absolutely due to my inability to follow through with commands to my brain. That's just poetry. In this rundown place. Like, even before it was rundown. This is odd. This is an entire enclosed room that's literally just some poetry and a bunch of water and a walkway going by it. Then again, I mean, a bunch of buildings have, like, atriums and courtyards in them that are literally only there so as to try to maintain the sanity of the occupants. Alright, now that we have Charge Beam, that was completely optional. Can't you beat the game without getting the Charge Beam? We gotta go get Morph Ball Beam. I think I remember commenting on this thing before. The path of corruption leads even higher. Sounds like it would be a hymn. I think you've only gotten to the first boss in this. Wait, do you know how it ends? Have you seen the final boss fight? Because if nothing else in this entire like genre of games is cool to you, I can't wait till I can get space jump and just get up there. The boss fight in this game. Yeah, it's Metroid Prime. It's the hypest goddamn shit. That was what cemented this game as one of my favorites. Because the boss fight is both thematically and gameplay-wise the culmination of everything that's happened thus far, and they did a perfect job of presenting it. Wasn't like the goddamn, oh look at me, I'm a big brain, but also the phase-on that happened in Prime 3. I juked him hard. You only own Echoes now? Well, you're gonna... Lucky you! I'm gonna play all 3 of them, and we can experience the entire game together. And it doesn't even matter that you missed the first half of this stream so far, because you already saw it during the last stream. Alright, we don't... Yeah, we need bombs first. This way! Listen to them, they're trying their hardest. Just be nice. There's no reason to admonish the flying birds. In fact, they're killing themselves right now. I am a large pretend stone creature. I eat things and turn them into pretend stone. Actually, that might be effective. Because if most of your body is made up of non-organic materials, you don't need to maintain them. Like teeth, for example, the body does very little with which to maintain the outside of the teeth, because they're just there. The downside is, it's good energy conservation. It is bad long-term because you cannot heal. You can lose them over time. But happenstance, you're not supposed to live past 30 years old anyway. Science and human ingenuity have gone too far, and our lifespans are way longer than our bodies were ever designed to be. I just realized that those cones are hexagons. That would be less structurally sound than cones. Hexagons exist in such a way so as to maintain the most structural rigidity when they're stacked on top of each other. Those aren't stacked on top of each other. In fact, they're fairly separated. What is this nonsense? Why does life have to be this way? Are these special war wasps? Yep. Does he have 2 stingers? He's got 2 stingers! He's got the big sword blade coming, like the cloud buster coming out of his ass. And then he's got like a little penis stinger too. A barbed war wasp. Airborne insect with the ability to launch its stinger at preys. Highly aggressive member of the war wasps. Insect can propel the tip of its stinger up to 20 meters. The stinger tips regrow seconds after launching and contain an acidic compound designed to pre-digest prey. This buddy boy can store so many stingers in it. Look at me. I'm doing puzzles. Oh, no, I don't know which way you're going. No, you were going that way. Could you shoot the thing, please? There we go. Slaps roof of war wasp. Ouch! Stingers. No. No. Jump. Does that come up now? Don't launch things at me. I'm busy. How did that count? Acidic compound my ass. Alright, you. Nope, turn please. How did that hit me? I really wasn't so far away that it was gonna hit me? Well, that's a big pile of doo-doo. Look at me, I'm being family friendly. I didn't say shit. Luckily, I'm small enough that it won't matter, but in the future, I might actually have to... Okay, let's just completely fuck up this entire sequence right now. I'm not hitting it. That's fine. And now it's protected again. Would you get out of... Lock onto the thing already, Samus? Jeez. Alright, under we go. Open. Open, says me. I'm just gonna walk through the fire. That'll solve my problems. There we go. Didn't get hit once. Speedrun strats. I am the best at this game. So good, in fact, no one's ever beaten my record that I have yet to produce. I'm a Chozo, I can see into the future. God, it feels weird to be holding a Wii controller again. Morphing Ball Bomb? Should have seen the beginning of the stream, it was funny. I completely screwed up my introduction. I began the stream, and I have... No, I need big bombs. Little bombs don't blow up things in tree holes. You're lying to me. I have the buttons on my keyboard as, or rather the buttons hotkeyed to switch scenes as shift and then like the left side of my keyboard. And then I started typing something and didn't realize until after I was done that I had changed. All right, now that we have bombs, yep. The Trilogy version added in waggle your stick to jump, which is a nice addition. I don't believe you, but we're gonna go do it anyway. We're gonna go poot on a tree and see if that fixes it. I think it's super missiles that I need. Wow. All right, let's actually do this properly this time, instead of like whatever the hell that was last time. We completely missed the thread. Bum bum. Oh, no, out the hole. There you go. I believe in you. You're the one that believes in me, that believes in the Super Sand lesbian. I caught up on My Hero Aka. That's pretty fun. And I watched a couple others. New animus. While I was doing a bit of editing. I think no, it's not this way, is it? Yeah, because the poison's lower, so I can... No, this is the one I just did! I did the same thing last time! Everything is terrible, and I don't know where to go again. Oh, that's right, because the other one's like way high up there, but this one's not, so... Just moves the little platforms instead of having the space jump. Defeating a sandwich only makes it tastier! Ugu, am I cute? I wish Oni would have a return to form and make more of those videos. For the most part, the stuff they've been producing recently has been alright, but like a lot of his effort seems to be going into his Let's Play channel. Which, don't get me wrong, I understand the allure of a Let's Play channel. But also, may I remind you, the personality of the individual, the Chris O'Neill, and the two friends he brings along the ride. I don't know if it's because I produce content myself, or if it's because it's just like I'm more discerning. Like my own sets of things that I enjoy doing are my sets of things that I enjoy doing, right? I tend to not enjoy most other Let's Players. There are a few, and generally it's just, are they putting on an act? And 90% of the time they are. And then the other 10% of the time they're just bad. Or 9% of the time, rather. Like, they'll have poor microphone quality, which I understand. Maybe you can't start out with a lot of money to do the mic, but at the same time, you should put a little bit of effort into it. If you've got like 100 videos on your channel and you've still not upgraded your microphone quality, which money-wise is not a huge issue. Like, there's good ones out there for like 10, 20 bucks. You just have to know where to look and care to look, and the questions have been answered. It just tells me you don't really care. You're only doing it because you see monkey see, monkey do. Like, my whole thing with Let's Playing is I see it as a form of, like, speech practice. Being able to maintain a thread of thought while also coherently turning it into words with which to express yourself and perform another action while you're at it, I have found to be an incredibly useful tool in a lot of social situations. I didn't used to be very good at speaking, and the more I Let's Played, the better I got at it. Public speaking is just another skill that I like to have. On top of that, I've met a bunch of really cool people. like yourself included, that I would have never met had I not put myself out there in some form or another. Yeah. So it's like this twofold personal practice and meet new people kind of thing. Beyond that, like, success doesn't mean much. Like, if I make money off of it, that doesn't validate what I'm doing because it's already validated. So going back to the fact that I tend not to like a lot of other Let's Players, most of the time I get the feeling that they're only doing it because of an ingenuine goal, a non-genuine goal. They feel... What's the word I'm looking for? What is... Entitlement, that's what it is. I can feel entitlement. Son of bitch. Get off of runic symbol. Literally, they start showing up as soon as I figure out what the buttons are supposed to do again. Disingenuous. Yeah. The disingenuousness comes from the fact that they feel entitled. That they feel like, alright, if I put the hours in, I'll get paid, or I will become a successful, popular, you know, big numbers boy. Which is just not the case. One, just by the laws of social statistical distribution, you're going to end up in a situation where 50% of content is produced by 10% of people, or 50% of success is given to 10% of the people producing the content. It's just how shit distributes itself. Like, the rich get rich, the rich get richer, poor get poorer, is not because the rich are rich that they just have like an unfair advantage. It's because they have the resources with which to grow themselves. If you already have a following, you're inherently going to have more of a following as you continue to produce, because you have more resources available. People will spread your content. You will look like you're successful. And those that aren't successful, it may not even be because the content they produce isn't good. It's just because they weren't lucky. They didn't fall in line at the time when something was popular. You know, there could very easily have been another timeline with a bunch of other mostly mediocre people becoming the biggest streamers on Twitch because of Fortnite. This shit just happens that way. So it's an interesting character study where you have so many people sharing what they're doing because other people are sharing what they're doing. And I don't dislike the fact that that exists. In fact, it's actually really cool that our society has gotten to the point where people can do that. But it's also kind of indicative of the fact that a lot of people are way more lonely than they really need to be. That they should be focusing on other elements of their life first before they branch out and they try to stream, or they try to let's play, or they try to make content on the YouTubes when they don't actually have anything to say yet. They're only doing it because they see other people doing it. And honestly, that kind of moves to me a little bit. I feel like I have a lot of things to say, but generally I don't want to... It's not humility. It's probably a lack of confidence that says there's nothing that I could say that somebody else either hasn't already said or could say better. So I kind of self-sabotage a little bit. I'm doing a lot better about it now. I'm actually networking a bit, meeting new people. And I'm not shying away from the success. I'm actually kind of enjoying it this time around. That being said, I'm also doing other things, like making highlights videos, which I never would have done in the past. Because it's like, why would anybody want to watch that? It's a funny world we live in. You want to talk about big things? I got big things to talk about. I'm an armchair philosopher. I know sciences. I am so good at games. I am professional PhD in games. Hey, small things can be good too. It all just depends on the right hole that you put the thing into. I feel like we got to the big boss a lot faster than we did last time. I told you, this whole channel, it's already been banned for lewdness. If you're here, it's because you managed to break... The skyline has a line around the outside of the overlap. Look at that. The skyline has a cap on top of it. It's a polygon. It's not even a skybox. Oh, that's funny. Don't shoot at me. Road. This is the real lewd. Flagra. Flagra? I just called it Flaregra. But it has nothing to do with fire. I wonder if there's an origin for that name somewhere. It's the Zepus atmosphere. Clearly, the planet exists inside of polygons. Mutant plant is the source of all of the toxic water in the ruins. So it used to be the source of the water purification, but then Phazon happened, and it grew a very interesting skull face. And now it's the lead, it's the headliner for the band Heavy Death and Metal Death the Second. Flaker's growth cycle has been radically accelerated. As a result, it requires near constant exposure to solar energy to remain active. This expiry has made Flaker's outer shell thick and durable. Its lower root system is unprotected and vulnerable, however. Explore this flaw. Be nice to each other, and like, I don't know, share your kinks or something. Daze it for short periods if you shoot it enough. How many bosses are there in this bad boy? Alright, let's see. We got Flarega, and I think there might be, like, other bosses or whatever. So after Flarega, we get a suit. And the suit lets us go to Magmore Caverns. Magmore Caverns is going to lead us all the way to Fendrana Drift so we can get Morph Ball Boost, which then we use to come back and get Space Jump. So the next boss after this... No, because after that, immediately you go and fight Space Pirates. And then you get the Scan Visor, or you get the Thermal Visor. I think Thardus is the boss after this one. Is a big rock boy. And then after that, I want to say the next big boss is the Phazon Super Pirate, and then Metroid Prime. Wow, is there really only 4 bosses in this game? That can't be right. That's absolutely not correct. I need to stun you before I knock this over. Or at the same time. There we go. Perfect. Now, go. What are you not locked onto? Dodge to the left faster. And up we go. Sleepy time. Good night. I don't know. You want to answer that question? Oh, what the hell? You are sleepy. Put your vines away. Yeah, the big boy to get wave beam. No, big boy to get wave beams next. Then Thardus. Then I feel like I'm missing a boss between Thardus and Big Rocks. Would you not? I need to go that way. Okay, I don't actually want to shoot that, but that's fine, I guess. What if I, like, shoot you with missiles? Don't put it down! Rude! Alright, it is stunned. Something called Sheogoth. Sheogoth is the one we fight before Thardus. Yeah, he's gonna be our next boss. He's before we get the wave beam. I love the Morph Ball bounces when it falls down. There's just so much seismic energy that transfers it on the ground that we fall off. What are you doing looking up a walkthrough? You're spoiling the game for yourself. Can't escape from crossing fates. I have still not mastered the controls here. And that was me almost jump. I almost feel like I need to mix the two up again. Don't put it down. That is rude. Put it down again. I dare you. Shit. It's gonna knock one over before we get there. Right, we got you. Oh, this is so much easier being able to stay locked onto him, but also do the quick shot. Oh, wow. Yeah, we're not supposed to be able to do it that easily. It's a step up using the Wii Remote and nunchucks from the tank controls of the GameCube, but oh my god, am I looking forward to dual analog sticks on Prime 4. I heard it's in the Unreal 4 engine too, which is going to be really cool. Like a proper science fiction shooter. I hope there's more horror elements. I brought up at the beginning of the stream. Apparently there's these things called community tags where you can have like 3 concepts for the stream that you're doing. And variety streaming for my channel, I'm just going to leave it there because I'm always playing different games. But the other 2 that I had set from Observer were thoughtful and horror. And I didn't change them. Well, my stream is thoughtful, so I'm just going to leave that there. But Metroid's kind of horror. I mean, it's got the Nintendo kitty veil over it. but it's definitely got some horror elements to it. The hell is Gibby HD? Gibby HD Nightmare is actually a good game. I don't think I want to take your word for it. I think you're lying to me. Oh. Give me HD Nightmares. Dude, I had somebody come in chat at one point. Hold on, I just want to enjoy this. That's it. It's just a screen flash and then suddenly magic pauldrons. It is not actually a good game. No, it is a good game. Is an actually good game. Hey, sir, if you're gonna talk in chat, can you please use English? I don't speak whatever the hell that is. A world gallery has been unlocked to pictures for the Varia suit. Oh, I definitely want to go check those out at some point. Alright, I want to run through this room as quickly as possible because I'm pretty sure Big Scary show up. Big Scary, where are you? Nope, I went backwards. I am, of course, the smartest gameplay in the world. Can't believe I just did that. I would like the boss nightmare to be in the next Metroid Prime game. I don't think that will work with the timeline. Damn it, how do you... I miss it every time. There's supposed to be... oh, I missed scanning the golds. There's supposed to be a space... or a Chozo ghost here. Alright, so let's break this down. Nightmare was absorbed. So Nightmare existed up until at least Metroid Fusion. But he didn't exist then anymore because he wasn't the real version of Nightmare, right? He was just the X version. In Metroid... in... Super Metroid, right? No, not Super Metroid. Yeah, end of Super Metroid, you come back is, I think, the game right before Other M. And Other M is when Big Bad Nightmare shows up. He was actually, like, in the flesh in Other M. But that ship got completely destroyed. So either his genetic information was preserved, or he's somewhere else in the universe. Metroid Prime happens between Metroid, the original game, and Metroid 2, Return of Samus. So... like, chronologically, unless we're going to be fighting a super precursor to the Nightmare boss that existed well before Metroid, Super Metroid, and then Other M, then there's no options for us to actually have a Nightmare show up in Prime. Unless, of course, they stick to their word and they say that the Metroid Prime 3 was supposed to be the final Metroid Prime, in which case Metroid Prime is now just a moniker that we're using because it is 3D Metroid. Yeah, but, like, plausible deniability has been produced for all of the Ridleys coming back, right? Because he was still Meta Ridley. No, he wasn't in Prime 2, but he was still Meta Ridley in Super Metroid. Which means, like, even if you killed him now, he flew off in Metroid Prime. Because the timeline does go Prime 1, or the original Metroid, all of the Prime games, every single one. Then Metroid 2, Super Metroid, Other M, and then Zero Mission? Is that right? Yeah, Fusion is by far way in the end of the timeline. And that also means that if we have anything that goes further in the timeline, X canon have to be part of it, and Samus with her body horror suit have to be part of it. Yep. So it's Super Metroid, then Other M, and then Fusion. So Other M is the second to last in the canonical timeline, meaning, and that's where Nightmare showed up as another boss. So, like, he could maybe be retconned in as having been, like, a prototype development before then, but I would doubt it. Personally, I mean, as cool as Nightmare would be in an Unreal 4 twin-stick shooter, I gotta say, I kind of hope they do more to differentiate the Metroid game out, because I want to see more Metroid, and I don't think the design of these games, if they came out today, would sell as well. The 2D games probably are fine. The 2D are a little bit more niche, and they're kind of driven... They're derivative. They're a little bit more like... They're kind of limited to the handheld genre now, because they always were kind of mostly handhelds after we'd made it past that technological hurdle. And people really like them. I mean, we're still getting shit like Hollow Knight being made in that vein. So that genre's not going to die. But I don't know if Nintendo has any idea why it's as successful as it is. They're going to have to find somebody and have them explain it to them. But in terms of a 3D game, they could do well to market it towards more people. I'm just worried that they might play it too safe. Ah, shit, I didn't scan him. Also, the fire shriekbacks. Shit, you know what? I was wrong. I don't like this. That wrong one. Options menu. I'm gonna switch the... No, that's not it. Switch the controls again. Jumping with the B button does just feel better. I'm still screwing it up. And the other way, I wasn't screwing it up at the beginning, so... I can't fire as fast, but I do feel like I can be more accurate. I need to avoid the ums. I am both incredibly hyped and also incredibly scared for whatever Prime 4 is going to end up turning out to be. Because it could be amazing. It could be something that I enjoy that other people do not enjoy, which is honestly probably the worst case scenario. Like, if they make a bad game, then Nintendo will just be like, alright, we fucked up. Nobody likes this. Oh yeah, I gotta wait for them to jump out. They don't jump when they're firing. Or when I'm firing. If nobody likes this, I mean, maybe we'll get a repeat of Other M with regards to, alright, the sales were terrible, nobody likes Metroid anymore, so we'll stop making a Metroid. But as time went on, and as they gained more insights, more eyes on the inside, Nintendo realized that no, the franchise is still very, very capable of producing sales. You just fucked up. You fucked up really bad. Ninja Theory is alright, but not for what they wanted to make the game out of. They did it bad. Nintendo then turned into the old ones. Nintendo then turned into the children. Did I tell you my final run of Bloodborne? No, I think you asked me. When I got to the Child of Kos, I beat him on my first try. And I felt kind of upset because I just played the DLC recently. So I heard horror stories of how difficult the Orphan of Kos was. Admittedly, I was using the pizza cutter, which probably wasn't fair. And I made it through all 20 of my blood vials, which very rarely happens in a Bloodborne boss fight. Because most of the time if you die because you're bad, and you die very quickly. And this time it was like, I'd get in a couple good hits in, I'd learn his patterns. He never one-shot me, which was the big issue I would have with a bunch of other bosses. And he telegraphed everything, like, perfectly. It was like a perfect boss fight. I loved it. Which is why I felt gypped, that I had to... If I wanted to fight him again, I've got to go through the entire game again, which I would totally do. I mean, I'd love to do a stream of Bloodborne at some point. That'd be fun. Yeah. So the three scenarios that I'm seeing could happen with a new Metroid Prime 4 game. You have... It's a really good game. It's ingenious. It sets out to do what it wants to do, and it does it really well. It pulls another Breath of the Wild where everybody, even people who don't like the genre, come in and enjoy the game. And we get a revitalization of the first-person sci-fi horror genre. Or just a first-person shooter in general that I'm hoping Nintendo doesn't fucking gut and turn into some sort of battle royale game. I will kill them. We have the other option. They make a game, it appeals to fans because of nostalgia, but it does not differentiate itself enough from just current gaming. It's not good, it's just a callback. They could easily end up with something like that, where the level design is uninspired, where it just is, okay, I'm playing as Samus, this is cool, but there's nothing new to it, and they're only making it because of the fact that the Switch and hype. And then we have the third option, and we pull another Other M, where because we're breaking off of the beaten path, and Other M turned into a fight game, more or less. And Metroid is not a first-person shooter, but turning it into a twin-stick shooter could very easily result in them missing the boat and turning it into a twin-stick shooter game, which it won't be a Metroid game anymore. I wonder if the planet they would have to have it take place on would be I would be okay with them like keeping the space travel element. Like, I liked the fact in Hunters you had multiple planets. It was just the planets themselves were too linear. They could get away with either. I would see a situation where a single planet that's completely new or one that they could go back to. I'm not very familiar with all of the planets that exist in the universe. I imagine they might not want to backtrack, but if there's a planet that's only been mentioned in lore but's never been explored, they could go and hit that for the nostalgia. But if it's not interesting enough, I would hope they retcon in something that's more interesting. Something that gives them more tools to play with, instead of being shoehorned in by flavor text from previous games. I'm sure they'll figure out a way how to make that work. But yeah, if we end up in the third scenario of, because twin-stick shooter, they make it into a shooter genre instead of a Metroidvania in first person. Well, hopefully Nintendo realizes that it was just they missed the boat again. But after 2 attempts at missing the boat again, hey, we ran into that glitch where we stopped the thing from moving because we were inside the geometry. I didn't scan one of the poof balls. They already did the they did the Space Pirate Homeworld in the 3rd game. To be fair, it was only okay. Alright, let's take care of you. I believe that's 2 missiles. And you. And you. Oh, I wasn't aiming at the proper spot. Can he hit me from here? No, but I can hit his 2-pixel wide screen. I don't want to speculate. One of the biggest way to be unhappy in life is to develop expectations. My only expectation is that I enjoy the experience. Whatever they do with the game, if they've got a good head, because the way that Japanese game developers work is they tend to have a lot of creative freedom, and whoever's heading the game, if he cares, will end up with a good game. Even if it's not a Metroid game, I would rather have a good science fiction shooter that has these characters, but have it feel like a new game, than end up with something that's just a callback because we need sales, because we don't know what else to do with the genre. Like, there's a lot of potential here. Dude, yeah. I only played the first Spyro, I think. And it was only... I don't know if I want to say this on stream. I only had access to it on occasion. It wasn't my game. There, we'll just leave it at that. I don't think I ever beat it, but I got pretty far. And I do remember it being more interesting to play than... I should probably talk about this shit. More interesting to play than the Crash Bandicoot games, which I'm not a huge fan of. I mean, they're alright, but they show their age. On the Bandicoot or Spyro? Report any signs of magma predator activity. Shit has happened. Oh yeah! This right here is the only instance where they mention the monks of Grandheim. Just some words they threw in. The monks of Grandheim like the crystals that form in the magma caverns here, and this is the only panel in any Metroid game where they mention that. Crash feels like the kind of game that would have been cool as a child to try to 100% for the sake of it, but as an adult, it's just like... Immersion pistons are leaching power from the magma pools as planned. Yeah, we got geothermal power, boys. We don't even need phase on. Grandheim confirmed for Prime 4. Yeah, like if they had a design doc that said everything that is in the game must have been mentioned in previous Metroid games somewhere, that would be a good one, because it's literally just a name and the word monks, so they could get away with pretty much anything they wanted to. Like, they could be master fighters. Oh, that's cheating. Oh, shit. I need to wait for that to regenerate. Oh, I might be able to bring somebody else into the stream, maybe. I am streaming, boy. My computer is my phone. I can text with it. It's actually really nice. I have a Google Voice account. One of my friend who likes the Metroid games asked what I was doing, so he might show up and make fun of me. Well, that was about as dumb as can be. No. He's at a convention right now, and also he refuses to watch any of my content. He doesn't outright refuse, but he has this tendency to just not engage in other people's content ever. He mostly wants to watch weird YouTube videos. Absolutely the Chad of us all. A Chad we can all aspire to. He's alright. I think it's not as good as it used to be, but I think we have an okay synergy. Like, I can be the deadpan, and I yell and scream into the microphone, and we're both comfortable with those personas. But boy, oh boy, has he let himself go. And he's actually doing pretty good. He went back to college. He's working on getting a programming degree now. So he's working full-time, school part-time. And I'm streaming. Somehow my ego is even more intact than his. Wait, do I have a notification? What the hell? You know the dude that I was talking about before? The dude that, like, he's super nice, sensitive, and he was doing the streams, and I hosted at one point? No, not Kronos. The guy that I hosted at one point, yeah. Barleycorn the Bard? Motherfucker followed my channel. The hell, dude? What do you mean, yeah? You don't have access to my Streamlabs. I'm shying further and further away from talking about the Prime Game Zoo. Dude, is that why people play Fortnite or Warframe or endless games that have no point to them? Because then they can just do nothing but validate the stream. Oh, cool. I haven't made the joke yet, and I don't think he's watching right now, but I was going to totally tell him, hey, if you hit 50 subs and get Twitch affiliated before I do, I wonder if I was supposed to scan that first. I'm totally going to subscribe to your channel. I think it's $5. It's a nice gesture, but it was like promote some friendly competition or something. No, but there's plenty of more that I can scan. Okay, so there's somebody else that I've been following. I think he was called Clay Tito. He was the first one, actually, that was, like, big on the welcoming everybody and remembering everyone's name. He got stuck in this room, went back down to Magmore Caverns, like, twice and came back in here. And he scanned everything in the room and shot everything but a missile at this door, and never scanned the door to know that he needed to shoot a missile at it. I broke down after watching him be stuck for like a half an hour, and I told him, dude, scan! Scan! It was really endearing, though, because he was having a lot of fun with it. There, I scanned the boys. You happy now? There was a third boy in here for a little while. Don't tell me that! I need to pretend like I'm alone, or I will lose the thread. The shell of the crystalline reflects beam weapons and can only be cracked by concussive blasts. Oh. I assume, because all the beam weapons have different properties, right? I assumed the base power beam was literally just a ball of superheated something. Plasma, I don't know of what material. Maybe hydrogen. Maybe helium. But this implies that the beam weapons are based off of, like, photon energy, like light. But what if I throw this box of string all over the sodding shop? What? I've lost it. No. No, I don't. You did not do a joke. This is why you're my moderator. This is how you've earned your keep. Yeah, if it's just a ball of plasma, that means it would have nothing to do with light energy, which in and of itself is not a huge source of energy. It wouldn't do damage. Like, even getting a sunburn, that heat and the redness and shit has nothing to do with the light energy from the sun. it is part of the electromagnetic spectrum that affects you, but most of it is actually due to it destroying. It's mussing up your DNA a little bit, and your body reacts to the mussed up DNA in a way so as to prevent cancer. It goes, oh, you got fucked up? Okay, I'm going to kill you now so that you don't become a problem in the future because you're literally retarded now. I should probably scan those. That's what a sunburn is. It's dead skin because the DNA got screwed up, but everything else is fine. Like, there's no structural damage. Okay, yeah. Maybe it was a funny joke and I didn't get it. You want to explain the joke? So that I can get it even more? Baby she-goths. That's actually kind of cool. By saying baby, that it gives the impression that there's going to be even bigger ones later on. Just not as big as the biggest one. I'm gonna shoot you in the butt. What are you gonna do about it? Oh, wow. One charge shot doesn't actually break it. That's cool. Oh, did you die? You died from a single charge shot to the butt? Oh, I am stuck on his corpse. I think you can, once you get space jump, you can just double jump over them. Shoot him in the butt. Now I feel bad. What the hell? But what if I just throw this box of string all over? Are we... My thought was you were implying that the stream was the shop, and that to follow the string I had to put it everywhere, otherwise I would lose it. But then I thought, no, he wouldn't make such a dumb joke. Like, that would give me a sensible chuckle. But that requires too many implications. And then I made fun of you for not having a good joke, and you told me it was a good joke. And now I'm calling into question my own sanity. But the stream must go. Is this how the future of human interaction is going to be? Just thousands of misunderstandings. That man just lost his frame rate while going upon his path. It looks like the box of string did the trick. Let's not forget the spider ball track here, because I have a tendency to forget that. Yeah, man, I followed the threads so good, I don't have to follow it so good no more. I'll remember until I don't. Hey, that sounds about like everything else I've ever done in my life. Congratulations. Alright, gotta get the snow ones. Come out! I believe in you. I believed in you so hard you're all over my visor. Is that lewd? I don't know, man. We gotta be careful about that. Getting alien juices all over our face. There's a lot of implications there. What the hell shot me from behind? Okay, that was just a misinterpretation of the game's engine upon where the projectile was coming from. You wanna come out? Wow. Alright. I don't even need to kill them. I'm just indiscriminately murdering them because of my frustrations of not being able to find Ridley yet. Samus has landed on the planet an hour and a half ago. We've absorbed some shit, cleared out some big enemies. We still have yet seen anything about Meta Ridley. I imagine she's having a bit of a piss-off. This is because we don't have the lock-on shit. Alright, he's dead. Onward and upward. Dude, the first time I came through here, I saw this floating platform down there. Where is it? Yeah, right there, and I jumped down to it. I had to go all the way back around again. It was wonderful. Is there a spider ball track in that building over there? Because I know you need a super missile that, I think. But it's nice being able to actually point at the screen. Like with PC games. What are you floating about for? A pulse, a bamboo. Is that just like a bad translation or localization thing? Because that's literally just bomb in katakana, translated to English. Bombu. Life form of raw energy periodically releases explosive segments from his body. Oh yes, of course. So the soul exists because we know there are ghosts, and also it can apparently coagulate into a ball and explode on occasion. Invulnerable to most known weapons, electrical energy can harm them. Why does that make sense? What the hell is the theory crafting with why electrical energy harms pure life energy? Is that Is that like our neurological systems? Our chemical electrical impulse brain systems exist in such a way so as to wrangle the life force inside of us? Because if it didn't, it would just do whatever it felt like? Is that the description here? Did you see that? I even found a glitch in a motherfucking Nintendo game. Come on. I broke the ragdoll. I shoved him into the other guy, and it didn't know where to put him, so he just got launched into the wall. It was beautiful. And you said we wouldn't find any glitches in a Metroid game, or in a Nintendo game. You were wrong, boyo. Chozo script translated. As the great poison reaches ever further into the planet, we Chozo began to feel the gnawings of despair. Before it's too late, we now make our last stand. We've begun to build a temple to constrain the darkness. At its heart, we'll place a cipher. A mystical lock powered by 12 artifacts, and filled with as much power as we Chozo can harness. Alright, so some more... Right, the owl relics. Good, beautiful. They're keeping in the hex machine. What again, like the whole energy being stored in physical matter thing, like it doesn't matter anymore what that thing is. If you can just take the energy back out again, you can do that to literally everything. These weird batteries going back and forth don't make sense. Even when we are done, will it be too late? Will the power of the temple and the cipher itself prove strong enough to hold back the poisonous tide that even now swells within the ground, threatening all life? Well, they tried. You know, I take a second and I realize how blurry and jaggy this game is, but while I'm playing, I don't notice at all unless I want to. I suppose that's good. That's the definition of aging well. Good design decisions and overall flow of the presentation. Because every game is going to have that weirdness of just shit tacked on of things. But it's cool to see it in an environment like this where, okay, maybe it doesn't totally make sense, but it definitely makes the experience as an enjoyable thing as possible. Can you hit it from down here, or do you have to climb up first? Some stalactites can be dislodged from ceilings, allowing them to be used as platforms. That's funny. Is that our suit just having a go at us again? Yeah, I think we have to be up there to shoot it. We have a suit that has an AI, and it can analyze stuff. I don't think this is how I'm supposed to get up here. And it can analyze things, right? No problem? But why does it have such a cheeky demeanor to it? Oh man, do you just slip right off of that? Try again, Samus. Don't slip this time. I believe in you. Didn't do it, wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, that's why. When you switch the gun and the jump, it doesn't switch it for when you're in the morph ball mode. A is the beam regardless. This is like sort of sequence breaking. That's great. Isn't the only reason to be up here to get the stalactite mite? Get down from there. Mother said it's dangerous. Damn it. Too fast. Oh, I'm on the ledge. Be really careful about this. Not close enough. Just barely too far away. That's not what I'm supposed to be doing at all. Wait, how the hell... Am I supposed to come in from above and drop down here? Like, I legit... That's not how you're supposed to get up here, is it? It's definitely not how you're supposed to get up here. What's a space jump, Boots? That is how you're supposed to get up here. Just not yet. See, even the stalactite itself is too thick to be able to get onto with regular jumping. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Aren't I just digressed? the Grestist. I think I scanned these guys before. Alright, I'm gonna get the boosty ball, and then I'm gonna take a short break after that, I believe. Why does my nose always have to itch? I think it's due to allergies. I have a tendency to be a little bit sensitive in terms of nasal reactions to pet dander. And we have a bunch of very heavily shedding little chinchillos in the other... Well, literally right behind my green screen. I've been watching my footage back and I noticed I itch my nose quite a lot. I was wondering about why. I can't break those? It might just be because my skin is sensitive and I never put lotion on it. So many creatures suffer beneath the blight upon the land, and we chose are no exception. But for all our pain, we can at least believe in the promise of the future. We've come to believe that a time may never come, and we can once again open the door and banish the darkness we've contained. Even so, our vigilance will forever remain. We believe that on some far-off day a savior will come and continue what we have begun. For that savior, we will leave our ancient weapons and armor. The soul who can gather them will be the entrusted one, the only being who can reverse the evil that grows here. So they do see into the future and see that we are effectively garbage disposaling. Why would you host me? You know all of your viewers don't want to see this. Thank you, Rellington, if you're there. I popped in a bit for your Guild Wars stream earlier, but then, like, I had to do my own stream, you know? Or no, it wasn't Guild Wars, it was Fortnite. That's why I probably popped out. Not a fan of Fortnite. So yeah, the Chozo put a big lock on the big Phazon. Really? Oh, okay. That's perfect. That's beautiful. I'm glad I can be of assistance. So big Phazon landed on the planet, right? And they put a big seal on it, a big space magic seal on it, to try to prevent the Phazon from spreading. And to prevent things like, oh, I don't know, space pirates from getting in and stealing the stuff. And they can see into the future a bit, and they realize, I'm going to be the one to fix the problem. Except what they don't realize is, the big Samus, with her, well, I'm going to shoot everything to solve my problems, is quite literally doing that. The Metroid down there eats all of the Phazon, and then we just solve the problem with a gun. I'll introduce you one day, because I know you love networking. Ugh. It's the worst part of this entire process. Thanks, man. Yeah. Take care. Have a good night. Networking is your favorite part. Dude. I think it was 2,560? I want to say 3 or 7. I made over 2,500 videos on YouTube at one point. I enjoyed every moment of it, but I never got over 500 subscribers. And it was never, like, I very rarely got negative feedback. I know personalities can be polarizing, but it never felt like it was because I wasn't doing a good enough job. The quality or my personality weren't indicative of the lack of success. I just happened to be suffering from Price's Law. Guess what? You started too late, son. And also, I never networked, which apparently has an impact. Who would have guessed? In we go. Wow, there's like a surprisingly small number of bots in my channel today. It's just Commander Root. Skills, big strats. Just, you know, run into the enemy after spending so much time preparing to not to. I don't want to deal with you today. Oh, shit, I didn't even need to transform to get up here. I can spit at you, too. Does charging cause them to follow you? It does not. Right, of course. Only charging the big balls of plasma is an issue. Alright, so Samus would have been on the planet for about an hour and a half now. And we are just now seeing the 100 by 100 pixel shadow of Meta Ridley float over the drifts. And there's no reaction. Samus continues to remain as stalwart and entirely without emotion as possible. The T-pose shadow. Ridley was asserting dominance before we even knew what that meant. You know, I've been hosted by 2 people now, both of which seem to only have had viewers because they've been doing this longer than I have. And every time I finish my stream, it's either just you and me, so there's 2 viewers, or it's just me. And like, what the hell is the point in hosting somebody else's stream if I'm the one who's already going over to it? That's pretty great, though. It's actually really cool that that happened. Twitch is a little bit more lenient with regards to being able to get out there. The amount of success that I've had thus far is probably about the same as what took me about a year on YouTube. To be fair, I still only have 6 subscribers on YouTube. I can't tell if there's anybody else lurking in the chat. Or it wouldn't matter. See, I say this. Go check out the YouTube. I'm making some pretty funny highlight videos there. Yeah. That's what happens. Nobody likes being hosted. Nobody ever stays. Admittedly, my sample size is small with only like 2 people each. Oh, you want to know something funny? I straight up told another guy, and because of that forgot that this was an option. This is the door I'm supposed to go through, because technically to progress this way, I need the spider ball to go further, but there's an elevator that pops up right into Talon Overworld to get the space boots. The game is smarter than I gave it credit for. Again. I did that, and you fucking missed it, boy. Alright, so in Owlboy, there's a section right after you get teleported by the big teleporter that Alphonse clearly tells you, hey, I know you just got teleported, but like if we teleport back again using the same thing, it'll probably unlock the security doors. My brain read that as, okay, we got teleported out. That means if we try to teleport back in again, the doors will still be locked. So we have to come in from the outside and be careful. I went all the way back up again, only to have the teleport room tell me that no, you idiot. You were supposed to... you were supposed to just go back through the teleporter. And I got pissed. And I started to make the argument that that was just absolutely terrible game design, that we're just trying to pad the content out. Then I realized that I'm supposed to teleport back again. And then I realized that the reason they put the teleporter in the first place was, guess what? You just went through an entire dungeon. Look at all these coins you have. Go back to Buccaneer's shop. Or go back and accomplish whatever you want to go and accomplish. Entirely reasonable. 100% reasonable. In fact, really good game design. I was just being dumb. See, that's why I want to stream, so that I can have somebody else in the stream say, hey boy, why are you being so dumb? And then I can respond with, that's what you're here for. Otherwise, I'll just play games on my own, but clearly I can't be trusted with that. Yeah, that guy actually, that Claytito dude actually got pissed at me. That's as far away from the jump button as I can possibly get. And I still did it anyway. No lava. No bad. I touched it anyway. Shit. Alright, we definitely need to kill you before we move on. Oh, it only takes 3 missiles. I think if they have health bars, I think the amount of damage a fully charged charge beam shot and a missile do are the same for most enemies. I'm not 100% on that. See, look at this. Elevator right before, like right in front of the space jump boots, or a spider ball track that I can't use yet. I'm a big dumb. I'm a big dumb. I got mad that they recycled that first section of Magmore Caverns. And it was always in my memory that, yeah, they keep making you recycle using Magmore Caverns. Nope, you're not supposed to go backwards through that section and then back through it again. It's not at all what you're supposed to do. God damn it! The left clip is a little slippy. It fell out. What time is it? Oh, wow, it's 5:30. That's about time for dinner. Do you think that it would be better if I just stop streaming, go eat, and then come back, or to just throw up the I'll be back screen? In your professional opinion? Because, like, the followers will get another notification that I'm going live, but it doesn't look like anybody cares today, which is fine. But if I leave it up, that means that the video, or that it'll be there, and somebody can see that the channel exists, effectively maintaining exposure. I'm gonna say no less than 10 minutes, no longer than 25 minutes and 37 seconds and 28 milliseconds. If I'm any longer than that, the pizza's free. Yeah. I don't exactly have enough followers, and even the few that I do have, probably, if they want to, they can show up. If they're not interested, they're not interested. I don't want to pester them. And since you probably won't want to sit there and listen to the same Persona song 10 times in a row, I'll just send you a message when I jump back in again. If you want to keep watching. Sound good to you? God, this is the weirdest ass conversation to have in a VOD. I shot that thing in midair and it killed itself. But we'll go get the spacey jump boots. The best goddamn upgrade in the game. Like, this game is effectively a first-person platformer puzzler. The shooting mechanics are just that. They're a mechanic with which to do the puzzles. It's just like it's a ranged button presser and also enemy uncomfortable maker. Oh shit, this isn't where we need to go. Need the half pipe. That's right. I'll go back up to Talon Overworld though, because there is the half pipe there that I want to get. And also the morph ball bomb thing that we didn't do, that I said we were gonna do. And up again. I think you're supposed to fire it as soon as you hit the half pipe. That seems about right. Oh, damn it. Do I also need to use the analog stick? No, because that fucks it up. And also the perspective is forcing me to go backwards into a pretend track. Oh, yeah, that's right. Use momentum on the ground. Use the boost to climb the wall. Alright, we don't want to add to gravity, we want to fight it. I gotta say, though, this is really nice to control the game with the Wiimote and Nunchaku. This game's not that long. It's only 6 o'clock. No, because I'll have to stop streaming at around 10:30, which is probably as long as I'm going to stream today. Yeah, we're not going to be able to finish this today. We might finish it tomorrow, though. That'll be cool. I don't have double jump boots yet. I can't jump from the ship to the platforms back there. That's it. This is when I'm taking my break. We'll get it when we come back. See you later. Thanks for watching.